Howdy peeps and welcome back to the channel. Today we have an inbox, as it were, review of the Italeri MiG-37B ferret. I'm pretty sure this is a what if plane, one of those ones that was just designed and never made. If it was made, perhaps as a prototype, but that's it, I would have thought. Why did I buy it? Well, look at it. It looks cool. That's a good enough reason for me. Plus it's Russian. So, cool and Russian equals a win. Downside, that nasty logo on the box with the SH missing from the front of it. I do try and avoid italeri kits if I can. But hey, these things happen. I won this off a online auction site. Veteranous Models Auctions, to be precise. Shout out to Nicky and Karen, they do a great job, and dealing with a bunch of us modelers without getting too stressy or snotty, so keep up the good work, ladies. Let's get to it. Have a look-see inside. Now, first things we notice, decals for two versions. Yeah, right. Figure not included, thankfully, because I've seen Italeri's 135 figures and they looked like a melted wellies, so in 172 they'd probably make an Airfix figure look good. Side opening box, fold out destructions in multiple languages, I think, or is it the classic Italeri where you get it's either two instruction sheets. No, they're both the same, just one of them they actually remember to put the paint call outs on. So we won't go too in depth with this, we'll just pop it out of the box. As I say, this is a auction win, so a few bits have already been clipped off the sprues, like the fuselage. Look like Bombay doors. Typical Italeri decals just randomly floating about. Did put the clear parts in a bag though. So we just pop the bits to one side. Try not to lose any of them, because as I say, some of them are loose. Shake that off, and we'll start out with, I guess, the main fuselage. Top and bottom rather than left and right. Yeah, there's another bit taped to the bottom of the fuselage. Sensible tape it, I suppose. Ubiquitous 6mm Tamiya tape. I will start with the fuselage upper. I'm going to have to zoom in a bit for you to see any of this, because this is rather tiny. Zip, there we go. So what we got? Well, we have raised panel lines. Yep, everything's raised. I'll soon sand those off and rescribe them. Well, maybe not those, but those ones easily enough. But yeah, looks relatively clean and crisp. Nothing too nasty. Ooh, there's the sign. There's the signs, look. Testers copyright 1988 Italeri. So yeah, that's always a good sign to not expect too much from the kit. If it fits together, that'll be a bonus. But yeah, as you can see from the inside, they don't exactly worry too much about the moulds. They're not very well finished. But hey, that's bits that aren't visible, so it doesn't really matter. It's just an overall sign of the general quality and care they take over their moulding. But yeah, that looks okay. It's like raised detail, but what do you expect from 1980s testers, let alone Italeri? Very little in the way of panel lines at all, really. I think I'll just sand them all off and rescribe something random, as it's a what if it don't really matter. I mean, that said, the interior of the gear bays is rather nice, and the interior of the bomb bays looks rather nice as well. You know, given the age, manufacturer, and scale of the kit, it does seem we have decent half round locating lugs for the main gear. I've noticed these little vents at the back. They are moulded on both the upper and lower fuselage. Although no, there's nothing to see in between them obviously. Let's see how the two halves fit. Oh, I wouldn't have said that's too bad. Obviously there's going to be a little bit of sanding and filling work around the edges, but hey, you get that on all kits. It'd just be a quick swipe over, I think. So, other than the raised panel lines, not looking too bad. We'll just pop that off to one side. So I think these are gear bay doors or bomb bay doors. Foldy uppy things on the underside. Ejector pin marks in them in horrible to get to places. They seem okay, exactly the same either side though. It's a bit weird, but there we go. So let's have a look at some spruage. So here we'll go around it in parts. So given the weird shape of this plane, I'm not entirely sure what any of the bits really are, so yeah. Guessing that probably goes on the top, or yeah, I think that goes over that part there. Top of the fuselage, pair of headlights. 3-piece seat with some moulded in belts, doesn't look too awful. The ordnance again don't look too bad, bit flashy, but hey, we can soon clear that up. And what looks like a few gear bay doors, again flashy, bit wobbly, not particularly well moulded, so it almost looks blistered in places. And a random flappy bit which I'm guessing goes in the back end somewhere. But yeah, nice of them to mould the actual year on there. I don't think we're going to be, I don't think we're going to be too worried about this, but I'm going to build it, but more for a, ooh, that looks cool, than anything specific. Not Pacific, specific. So wings and tail planes, strange shapes. Guessing they're going to fit somehow. Fiddly bits, undercarriage and wheels on this one. Look decent enough. Fairly chunky witness lines where the mould halves go together. You're probably going to be expecting that. The actual engine nozzle part is really nicely moulded though. And you've got the, you can hear the grated texture on the top. You've got well, raised lines going down the inside to give some detail to the inside of the exhaust tunnels, as it were, and the fans moulded in there as well. That actually looks rather a nice piece of moulding. And yeah, no ejector pins in evil places on wings or anything anyway, so that's a good sign. But yeah, not looking too horrific. Take a little bit of adjustment and fettling, but most kits do. As I say, this is it. You do have to make allowances sometime for the age of kits, depending on the manufacturer. I will put the clear parts back in the bag for what they're worth. I mean, the Tamiya King George V has been a superb kit to build, and that's 45 years old. Very little flash. Everything fits perfectly. It's really nicely moulded. And this being 88, what's that? 2008. 22 years old. It's showing its age, but it's not horrific. Clear parts are relatively clear. Again, 172, you're not going to expect amazement. Nice demarcation lines. Well, I've kept the clear, and the bit that would be painted is kind of frosted, so you can see where to mask to. Yeah, not going to complain about that. And we get to what is probably going to be... these don't look too bad either. The decals. Ferret E. 2 decal schemes. So you got... The black plane has all the red stencils. The white and grey version has the grey stencils. So they'll probably just vanish as soon as you put them on. If you get your shade of grey a bit wrong, they'll be the same colour. A couple of random blues and some Russian stars and the same numbers for both planes, so guessing prototype. And a bit of damage up there, but minor problem. That's probably come from it rattling about inside the box rather than being in its own bag with a protective piece of paper over it. Now let's have a look at the instructions. Bit of bump in several languages. Blah 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 blah. Conceptualize blah 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 blah. Our 1/48 scale Soviet stealth was designed after years of research and development. Russian manufacturing techniques, mission requirements and earlier designs were analysed and included in our data bank. Yeah, exactly, they made it up. So we have Sprue map for what it's worth. The old attention, blah blah blah. Colours required. Grey, green, blue, black, metallic black, white, yeah, the usual. And I'm guessing this is going to go together pretty much the same way as any other 172 aircraft. Cockpit and engines into the fuselage. Nice picture of the finished kit, complete with badly silvered decals. Now, manufacturers, if you're going to give us pictures of the finished kit, do it properly. The rest of the bits basically just sticking onto the fuselage. I wonder if you can do it with the speed brakes up and down. I'd assume you can glue them down. It's not giving you an option of, but we'll have a look when we come to build it. Boom booms going in the bottom. Again, if I can, I'll probably do it with the gear base shut. It's 172 after all. Then landing gear going on. Which might be why they've been moulded in one big chunk. This is actually both gear bay doors moulded together, and you've got to cut them in half if you want to do it open. So it looks like you can do it gear up as well, although, you know, there's no stand or anything. So it's probably going to have to be done gear down, but I'll keep the weapons base shut just to make it easier to paint. Because I don't really want to be taking ages or faffing about with masking too much. 2 marking schemes. One is just black, the other grey on the top, white on the bottom. Guessing the stencils go in the same place for both. Have they numbered them all the same? Yep. So that's about as good as you get with italeri instructions. So there we go. What do we think? Well, for a rather aging kit, Moulded originally by someone I wouldn't buy kits if it said their name on the box, and remoulded by someone I wouldn't usually buy kits if their name was on the box. It doesn't look too bad. Should fit okay. There's not too much to it. There's not exactly a lot to get wrong. I'll chuck everything back in the box, back in the bag. Oh, where the clear parts? They fall out. Yeah. Don't drop the clear parts on the sander. That's probably a bad idea. Chuck those back in there. Pop those there. And stuff it all back in the box. Ready for when we get round to it, which could be either relatively soon or it could be years from now. We never know. All depends what takes my fancy. And the box art on the back of the box showing the two schemes. Yeah. Really not the best presentation on the box. But hey ho, there we go. If you've liked what you've seen, hit the old thumbs up, leave us a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I don't know how available these are these days. I'd guess probably not too available, but we shall see. No doubt they'll probably be on Amazon for less than I paid for it, but hey, who cares? So enjoy your modelling. Peace out. Rock on. Bye bye.